Hello everyone, this is Angie at StampingWithAmore, and today I have a technique card to share with you, and it is this little birthday card. It is a partial die cutting that we're going to use on this card, and it worked so cute for this new Pampered Pets Bundle. Now you can either get the bundle, which is the Pampered Pet stamp set and the dies, as a bundle, or you can get the whole suite, which the suite includes the designer series paper, the little trinket here, and the real red and black and white baker's twine. It's really, really pretty ribbon and baker's twine. I love it. And then you get the dies, of course, and the stamp set. So it's a whole suite, and I love how Stampin' Up! Is doing the suites. It makes it so much easier when you love a suite and you can get it all at one time. So it has an individual number. It's really, really nice. All right, so this is what I'm sharing today, so let's get started. You are going to need a piece of Whisper White. This is the thick. It works really good for this kind of card. It's 5 by 8, and you're going to score it at 4 on the 8-inch side. And then for the card base, you're going to need a piece that is 5 by 5.5, and you're going to score it on the 5-inch side at 2.5. Need a piece of designer series paper, which is 1 by 5.5. And then you need a piece for the sentiment, which is 1 by 3. I may cut this down a little bit. We'll see. All right, so I'm starting off with a larger piece. It's just easier to start out with a larger piece instead of cutting it smaller, but you can do that. You can cut it smaller, but I will be cutting it down after we stamp and partial cut it. All right, so first thing that we're gonna do is, and this does fit in a 5.5 by 4.25 envelope. So the score mark is right here, as you can see. So first thing I'm going to do is, and I've seen this done several ways, but this is how I like to do it. We are going to stamp first. I've seen people cut first, but it's easier for me to stamp first. So we're going to stamp the dog, which he's so cute. And we're going to stamp him first. And you're going to put his little feet, excuse me, on this side of the score mark. So I'm going to stamp it and I'm going to show you. And I'm sorry if my head gets in the way, but it's important to be able to see where I'm stamping this. So can you see where I have his feet on this side? All right, and then we're going to stamp the kitten. And this kitty, you want to make sure that it is far enough away from the dog, because when you use your dies, you want to make sure that your cat and die aren't close where these are going to overlap. You need to make it far enough away. So we are going to do the kitty the exact same way. Again, sorry if my head gets in it. And we're going to stamp the kitty. All right, so can you see where the bottom of their feet are? And you want to try to line them up. That's why I said my head might get in the way. You want to try to make sure that they line up on the bottom here. So if you can look over it, you can definitely do it. It's really easy. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to color this using our blends. You can color it with whatever you like. I'm going to use the blends, and I'm not going to speed through it, because I always get questions after I speed through it on how did I do that. And so we are going to, if you already seen me do this a million times, you can just speed through this part. So we're going to start off with some light and dark gray granite, and we're going to do our kitty in the light and dark gray granite. So I'm going to color him. I think I'm going to use the other side. And you can customize this to whoever you're giving it to, if they have a kitten or if they have a dog that looks like this. You can customize the color however their cat is. It's so fun. All right, and we're going to use the dark, and we're going to shade this some. And I really wish I was a professional at this, because I've seen some beautiful shading and stuff from people, but it's just not, it's something I've always wanted to learn, but just haven't had the time to do it. So I just do some pretty simple shading on it. We're going to take the light once again, make sure I got the right one, and we're going to just blend that. These are really, really easy to use and pretty forgiving. All right. Then we're going to use the dark petal pink, and we're going to color in his ears. And then I'm just going to put a little bit on his cheeks just to make him cute, cuter. And we're going to use the light and dark crumb cake for the dog, which I love him. He reminds me of the Lady and the Tramp dog. I really like to color, if it's a large area, I like to use the brush tip, but I usually get out of the lines when I do that. So usually when I'm doing it on my own, I'm using the small one, but I'm trying to speed this up a little bit, so that's why I'm using the bigger one. We're going to shade him a little bit too. And I gave him spots on the other one, but I'm not going to do that this time. I'm just going to color him. We're just going to blend that with the light again. All right, then I'm going to use the dark real red, and I'm going to do his collar. And we're going to use the light basic black for his nose. And I think I'm going to make his eyes blue. So I'm going to do a little bit of blue on his eye here. Just to give him a little character. All right, and then I'm going to use this light macaron, and I'm just going to kind of shade around them. Just going to color around them just to add a little bit of color, and I don't know, maybe they're sitting on a carpet or something. So that's all I'm doing, just very lightly. I'm going to move all these blends out of the way, and I'll bring the big shot up here and I'll show you how to cut this. All right, so we are going to set that down. We're going to get our dies. And we are going to place our dies on our little cat and dog. And I am using a little tape to hold that in place because I do not want that to move. Then you're going to take your top plate, slide it in there, and you're going to line up this edge with the score mark, and then you're going to run that through. Let's remove our tape. And then before we move this big shot out of the way, we're going to cut out one of the dog and one of the cat. And I'll show you what we're going to do with that. All right, let's set that aside. And so you will see how your cat and dog will pop up at the top. Now we're trimming this. We're going to trim the back. So we're going to just trim along that score mark. Don't trim where your cat and dog are. You're just going to trim between. And then you're going to do this one. All right, so there you have that part right there. Now we're going to trim the bottom because we don't need the bottom part. So I need to grab my trimmer. And you're going to trim, you're going to put his head like at the 4-inch mark. Make sure it's straight up against the side. And then we're going to just trim it across there. And what I would have done was trimmed it first and then used this piece right here to cut out my extra pieces, my extra dog and cat piece. And I need to trim my, or change my blade out. It looks like it's starting to. If your paper ever gets a little frayed on the end, you need a new blade. And it looks like it's time for me for a new blade. So these two pieces here, I'm going to use them. Turn it over because you can see the blends on this side. Now if you don't use the blends and you use something else, if you don't use any alcohol markers, you don't need to do this step. But I just thought it looked better by putting one on top of the other here. Just line it up, make sure you got it lined up just right. And then we're going to do the same with the cat. Place that on top. Make sure you got it all lined up nice. Just like that. And it does make it a lot sturdier too, so they really stand up nice. So that's another reason I like doing that. All right, so let's bring in the card base. First, let's go ahead and stamp. So I need to grab my Memento Black again. We're going to stamp, I hope your day is a real treat. And then we're going to stamp with some real red. We're going to stamp the hearts. And I'm going to color these in because they are open hearts, but I liked it colored in better. And then let's go ahead and stamp our happy birthday on here. And the happy birthday is from a grandkid. It's this happy birthday there. There's a lot of sentiments on here other than for grandchildren, but I love this and that's why I got it for my grandkids. And then this is the Pampered Pets with the dies that are the Pets dies. So I don't think I showed you that in the beginning. So we're going to stamp that. And then that is all our stamping. So now we're ready to put it on our card base. I am going to grab some of our, I'm going to use the Stampin' Seal Plus on this one. Just put it on here. And I am leaving a little bit of red showing at the very top edge. Make sure that this is even, but right at the top edge there. And then we're going to use the Designer Series paper here. We're going to put that at the edge. We're going to go ahead and color in those hearts. I'm going to use the dark real red and I'm just going to color these in really quickly. I just liked them solid because they matched the ones on the Designer Series paper. We're going to flag the end of the happy birthday. I flag both ends. I'm going to use some of our This is the pack that you get if you get the suite. You get the Rail Red and the striped baker's twine, black and white, and I love this baker's twine. I'm going to wrap this around a couple times. And I'm going to go ahead and cut it. We are going to put a little trinket on it. So these are the Playful Pet trinkets. They're so cute. And if you didn't see my box on Sunday, my treat box I made with the same bundle, I will link it in the video here because it's so cute. You're going to want to see that. It's a really cute one. And so you can use a heart or you can use a little bone. I'm going to use the heart this time. I used the bone on my other project that I did on Sunday. So we are going to cut this end because it's a little frayed and it's going to be a little bit hard to get through. So we're going to put this one on. And then I'm going to tie a bow. There we go. I'm going to trim the ends there. Let's get our, I should have knotted it first. On the last one I knotted it, the heart on first, and then I did the bow. So I should have done that this time. So let's go ahead and add some Stampin' Seal on this. And we're going to attach that right there. I'll probably end up tying it later, retying it. So there you have it. It's all done. Isn't that adorable? And it sits up like this. You'll probably want to put some Whisper White on the inside, and you can even stamp the inside. It's super cute. But so it sits up like that. Here's the other one. So if you need any supplies, you can go to my blog at stampingwithamore.com and shop from my blog. This is my June hostess code. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications each time I upload a new video. Have a blessed one, everyone. I'll catch you in the next one. See you later. Bye.